Calxiyn and Hunter here. If you guys enjoy this video, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel, but you guys should subscribe for basically daily RWBY videos. We have a new office, we have a new computer, we have a new light. The light is beautiful. Praise the light because the lights in here are shit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and so we're gonna watch the episode today, obviously. I guess this is like the time in our reaction where we go over theories we had last week. So last week we talked about Oscar or Crow or Ruby getting kidnapped. That was a good one. And we talked about Oscar wanting to kill himself, so that was another one.
That was needlessly dark.
What else did we talk about? I think that's it for, like, relevant theories. Oh, we said that Adam was just gonna pop out of nowhere and freak everybody out. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that we did. If we turn out to be right about something, you guys know that I'm gonna gloat and bring it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I remember or not.
Because then I'm gonna have to do 3 videos about all the things you're right on, and it'll be the most insufferable, like, half hour of my life.
Exactly. Okay, let's start then.
Wait, there's an 18-minute long one?
It's 18 minutes, but there's genlock stuff at the front.
Being kept in the dark like this.
So 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Hi, Emerald. This is why I wore my wig today, because I know this was going to be an Emerald episode, and this is my Emerald wig. I mean, it looks nothing like her hair, but it's similar in color. Yeah, I summoned the Emerald.
You're gonna.
Or Emerald summoned me, I don't know.
Why did you come with us?
That's a good question.
And I found you.
Why are you asking?
Just answer the question.
Yeah, what the fuck do you care about, Mercury?
Yeah.
Like,
it made sense.
All my life, my father trained me to be a killer, an assassin like him. And then moments after I killed him, you two showed up looking for someone with my exact skills. Just felt like it was meant to be.
He's just kicking at nothing. How is this helping anybody?
The shadow
like, alright,
boxing
edgy
is
boy.
unnecessary.
I mean, there has to be something you want from this, right?
Salem's promised us everything.
What does that mean? What is everything,
Top dogs
though?
in her new world.
Okay,
What more do you want?
Okay. He wants to be like king or something.
Cinder was the only family I ever had.
Ah! Alright, here we go, Hunter.
Taught me things. But without her here, I don't know if what we're doing.
Wake up already.
Yikes. Hunter,
Cinder
the gay
doesn't care about you.
Right now.
She doesn't care about either of us.
Mercury, you can't say that to her. Oh boy.
You're in denial.
Are you okay?
You probably,
seem so shook
she
right
probably
now.
is in denial.
Get me out of it.
Oh man! Yikes! 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 Guys, no!
I'm sorry you didn't have a mommy that loved you.
Wow!
Mercury
Mercury!
hated me.
You guys can't say that!
He never went easy on me. Every day of training was a beating. And when I unlocked my semblance, he stole it.
Oh shit, are we gonna see a
This
semblance?
Is a crutch.
Wait, what?
This makes you weak. He told me I could have it back when I was strong.
He stole it.
So
What
I
does
got
that mean?
strong. But I never got it back. I've had to work harder than anyone to get where I am.
Why are we getting such a
You may not like it here without
exposition
Cinder,
drop?
but I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
We're gonna get Henry.
Oh my god!
Oh,
He has
there it
a
is.
tail!
Okay.
You're a big bad man now, just like the others.
How long have you been standing there?
All you
creepy,
ever learned was
Tyrion.
pain and violence, and now you're too afraid to leave it. Such a tragedy.
You don't know me.
What the fuck is going on with you people?
Hey!
Man, I knew
want to tell
Tyrion
you
was a
both
top.
a little secret. Your question
You're
is
not
all
gonna say
wrong.
anything about that? Okay.
What?
What do you want from this? Children, please. If you're not loving what you're doing, then you're in the wrong field.
So what? Are you saying we should just leave?
Oh, no. You can't do that.
Then what did you come here for?
To say farewell. There's been a change in plans. Her Grace must act swiftly if we are to prevail. If General Ironwood comes to his senses and calls upon aid from Vacuo, all may be lost for us. So the good doctor and I are being sent to Atlas to prepare.
Oh.
Oh.
Prepare for what?
Tyrion!
He's just at the end of this dark, long hallway, like, alright.
Do what makes you happy, children. Please. I'm begging you.
What in the world? I'm so like, what? Hunter, you haven't said anything. You're like so shook right now.
No, it's not even
I feel like
shook.
Hunter's
It's just
disturbed.
no, it's like that scene was weird and like what did it serve?
He could have gone anywhere. This is
To-
all my
what
fault.
is-
I
what
don't
was it
know.
supposed to do?
I don't know.
I still don't really understand what happened.
Anyway, this was in
Was it
RWBY
about the
Rewind,
mission?
so I don't care.
It's kind of hard to talk about.
I mean,
I
I guess
know,
it's
I
Emerald
know.
and Mercury just
Top
questioning
secret.
why they're here, but Mercury already
Did he
knows. I guess it's
do
supposed to give
something
some
wrong?
Mercury
No.
backstory
He
because
didn't.
people are like, well, Emerald
We
makes
just got
sense to
some
be
new
with
information
Cinder,
and
but Mercury doesn't.
it's
But
going
it's
to be a
actually
lot
sort of the
harder than we
reverse.
thought.
Without
I mean,
Cinder, Emerald
if
doesn't
it was
care,
easy,
but
then it
Mercury
wouldn't be
wants
important,
to be king of
right?
Salem
I think we're
Land.
all just a bit
That
unsure
makes
of what
sense,
to do
I
next.
guess, right?
You could
I guess so.
stay in Mistral, get your licenses at Haven, and come back to Argus. There's a lot of good you can do here.
Oh,
I know
John's
your
sister
mission
wants
is
him to
important,
stay with
but it's not like you're the only
them.
ones who can do it. It's not the only mission that needs doing.
I mean, she's not wrong,
It's
but she
not
doesn't
that
understand
simple.
it's the end of the world. You know what I mean?
I should go pick up Adrian from daycare. I'll let Tara know what's happened, and we'll meet you later.
Wow, daycare runs fucking late.
Good
Like,
luck.
it's like, it's night, it's like, it's nighttime. Like, it's not even evening. Like, it's
Hey,
fucking
there's
the
a
middle of
cafe
the
over
night.
there. Why don't we get something to warm up?
I'm okay. You two go on.
Yeah, you're okay because you have a fucking sweater, but Nora's in a skirt, okay? She wants to warm up. Is that so bad?
You don't want anything?
Poor Jean is all mopey.
We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. See?
They're
They're
gonna get, like,
fucking cold. They're not
pumpkin
dressed
peach
for
or some
this.
shit.
Wait, what?
They're gonna get some pumpkin peach shit or something.
Maybe.
Alright, what's going on here?
It's fall, like the fall leaves, like the fall maidens, like
Oh.
metaphors and stuff.
Oh, fucking hell.
You
Is
know,
he
because
gonna
that's what
fall-
Pyrrha was supposed to be.
Something
before
bad's
she died.
happening.
Adam just pops out. He's like, "Hello."
Surprise! Oh, wait.
Oh, is that a statue of Pyrrha? Is it? Yeah, it is. It is. Look, it's her hair.
But why though?
Because
Is
she was like a famous like huntsman person. Maybe she came from this town.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Looks like her.
I don't know. Maybe if you win a competition, you get a statue. It's like. What do you mean? It
Pyrrha
looks
Nico.
like her. It is her, Hunter.
Pyrrha Nico, one of the many cute who fought valiantly in the Hall of Beacon.
Oh,
Wow.
there's a song. No, Jean, don't cry. Hunter,
Is her
look
eyes
at
closed?
it.
Oh.
Yeah, well, the statue.
Oh, who's that?
It's really beautiful, isn't it?
Oh fuck, who's that? Is it? Oh.
Oh, it's somebody
that?
Pyrrha related. Look at her. Look at her. Is that Mama Pyrrha? Is that Auntie Pyrrha? Like, look,
She has green eyes. What is?
Why here?
She trained here.
Oh,
Sanctum Academy. Everyone was crushed when she chose Beacon over Haven.
oh,
No one wanted to see her go, but it
oh.
was where she wanted to be.
They're related.
Well, yeah, obviously
I'm
they're
just
related.
glad she was surrounded by such amazing people.
Oh!
You should be standing here.
John,
She
don't
is.
cry. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry
She
because John's
understood
crying.
that she had a responsibility.
Oh.
Watch that
To
be
try.
Neo. Okay.
I don't think she would regret her choice,
Oh,
because a
Hunter.
huntress would understand that there really wasn't a choice to make.
Oh, like.
And a huntress is what she always wanted.
Oh, I'm gonna start crying. I'm not even joking.
Pyrrha never got the chance to graduate, but she was a huntress.
Oh. Oh, Hunter.
Oh, we finally gonna be like, I'm Pyrrha's mom?
John?
I don't know. What? She's gone? You're
What?
not gonna say anything about that?
What?
John!
Why did she Batman? Why did she? Why did she
I'm
Batman? Why did she?
I've been a terrible leader.
Oh,
And a terrible friend, and
John.
This has to stop.
We heard what you said to Cinder at Haven. You're not being fair to yourself. We love you, just like you loved Pyrrha. We're teammates.
Hunter.
Family.
Ow.
We don't
What
want to
are-
lose you two. I think she knew she wasn't going to win.
For a second, I thought
That
the
she might not
statue
come out
moved,
alive.
but I think it's just me being weird.
Hello, like Jin
She
again.
also knew she was the only
Prince
one.
Ali Fabulous.
This is a
So she did.
serious scene. But you have stopped
Maybe
me
we
from
should
crying.
too.
Yeah, we
They
should.
put up that statue quick. Jesus Christ.
Pyrrha may not
It's
be
been
by
a
our
year.
side anymore,
Like,
but we can fight like she is.
And in a way, she will be.
oh.
Now
We
have
should
a
check back in at
latte.
the house. Come on.
Okay, but what about? All right, there's just some Atlas
Thank you.
plane going in the sky, or maybe that's Cinder and
Yeah.
Emeralds. Wait, not
Yeah.
Cinder and Emeralds, but the plane that, like, you know, they went to the thing and then they, you know, earlier. Ruby's
I've
like,
never seen him this bad.
hey, can you go pick up your your uncle? But like,
Why am I on the stairs?
Probably because no one's home, Uncle Crow. We've been out looking for Oscar.
Oscar?
I love how she's just like, oh,
I'm sure this looks great. The neighbors.
oh. Yikes.
No luck?
No. You?
Don't worry.
You're not gonna
Atlas
mention the
without
Pyrrha? Dude, if
No,
I was
they're
him, I'd
not.
walk in and be like, guess the fuck what?
Sorry we won't be staying.
No, you're not.
I don't think Tara wants y'all to
We
stay
get out of
either.
the cold.
Ah, was Oscar just in there the entire time? What?
Well, fuck you.
Oh,
Will
he
you just-
has clothes? Great.
Okay, costume change. Where the fuck?
So he didn't run away or kill himself or get kidnapped. He's fine.
Is something cooking?
Oh,
I love
yeah,
how.
I thought maybe you guys would appreciate
First
a
off,
hot
that's
meal
Neo.
after
Second off,
That's
spending all day
Neo.
looking
I
for
don't
me,
trust it.
apparently.
I don't
It's
fucking
my
trust
fault we
it.
were all out there in the first place.
Cause then what the why?
Oscar, I am so sorry for earlier. I was way out of line,
needs to
and
be
what I
Neo.
said.
No, it's okay.
That needs to be Neo. Come on, Hunter.
These past few days, I've been scared of the
I
same
don't know
things
if I
you were.
like his outfit. Oh, okay,
I don't
got
know
it.
how much longer I'm
consider
going
it.
to be me. But I did some thinking, and I
Aw.
do know that I want to do everything I can to help with whatever time I have left.
Oh.
This team isn't the same without you, Oscar.
Oh.
The casserole!
We're on it, Chef.
The casserole.
Combat gear looks good.
Ah! The Rose Garden people are freaking out right now. Meanwhile,
Where are you going now?
yeah, where are you
I
going,
got
Crow?
more
You
to
stay right
celebration.
here.
You've been gone all day. Just sit with us.
Go to your room.
Look, Ruby, I'm glad you kids worked out, whatever all that was. But the fact is, we're not a single step closer to Atlas.
Actually, I think I have an idea. But
How dare you?
it's sort of a no going back kind of idea.
Well,
Those are the
let's
best
hear it.
kind.
Okay.
With Cordo on watch, only Atlas airships have the clearance to leave for Solitas. So, we steal an Atlas airship.
Oh, look at Weiss's face is just like,
Oh, the baby's like, fuck yeah!
Or a smiley.
That's definitely worse.
How would we even get onto the airfield?
That part I haven't quite figured out yet.
Well,
but I was...
Okay,
Tara.
stop. Just stop. Look, if this thing goes south, it's not something we can just fight our way out of. This is the Atlas military we're talking about. For your sake, just drop this.
I guess they would become like a group of terrorists, which I suppose is nothing new for Blake, but...
They should just wait until the letter gets to Ironwood.
I want to hear him out.
RWBY.
I want to hear him out.
Oh, be forceful.
I know you're trying to protect us, that you're afraid we can't do it, but right now, I don't really care what you think.
Oh, shit! You drag him! You drag him, RWBY!
Because you don't have an idea doesn't mean we're out of options. Oz hasn't been here to tell us what to do, but we still managed to get this far anyway. We've been in bad situations before, and we didn't need an adult to come save us or tell us what to do. We just did it our way.
You go, RWBY! You get him!
And I say we do it our way.
Ah, Hunter! They're gonna do it their way!
And if you think you can keep up with us kids, we'd be happy to have you.
Oh. I like how Maria
Looks
just
like you didn't give her enough credit either.
Kids and a geriatric Mexican woman. That's it, right?
Alright.
Okay. Wow.
So you can see the Pyrrha statue, which looks a
different.
lot more like Pyrrha in this.
Looks different in...
It's concept art, right?
I know.
So, red-haired woman, Jen Brown. What?
Jen Brown voiced
Pyrrha.
Pyrrha.
So...
Oh yeah, it's Pyrrha. It's Pyrrha's like mother.
But what?
It's definitely is.
But why? I mean, it did sound like her. But why would they do that? And then she just disappeared, Hunter. What if it's a ghost? What if that's Pyrrha, but like in her old age or something? Like, it's ghost Pyrrha. I mean, it's probably just her mom, right?
Probably.
Right?
You
and they just got the same voice actor.
Pyrrha? Yes, I'm a middle-aged woman. Well, you're gonna sound something like your parents. I don't...
Yeah. No, that's not really how things work. Anyway,
I don't know.
That's a nice touch
Some
to have
people,
Jen
listen,
Brown
you don't,
sort
but
of
some people look like
reprise
their
her
parents.
role, but then not reprise her role. You know what I mean? I like it. Good job. Good choices. Good choices.
This was a really weird episode.
Oh, yeah.
Not disjointed. I don't know. That
It's
disjointed.
kind of weird.
Like it has
Definitely a
every
little
bit
weird.
of it had its purpose. It just felt like.
Oh,
they were...
all right. Hello. Stinger can go in and out. Thanks. I guess. And this is the new song. I like this. I like this.
Like cathedral.
No, Salem has good taste in windows. If I had a house, this is what I would want. Something like this. Not this exactly.
Stained glass. You wanted
stained glass windows. Stained glass windows.
You
Just regular stained glass windows.
think you can afford stained glass windows, which is funny.
Well.
And two.
Listen, I didn't think that through. Okay. All right. Good.
That was okay.
Cool. All right. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you guys should be patrons over on Patreon, and we will see you later. Bye. Hello, everybody. It is Calxiyn and Hunter here. I don't know why I'm wearing these. There's nothing here. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon, and support the channel and all that stuff. All right, subscribe. So today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. I want to know if you guys will like this. So I decided that, you know, we can take some screenshots of the episode and put them in here just so like we can sort of look at things a bit more visually. Obviously, it's not like just playing the entire episode and putting it on YouTube, because that would be very questionable and shady. But I was like, oh, we can include some pictures. We can like, you know, spice this up. We're in a new room. We're in a new office. If you guys like it, we'll keep it. If you guys don't like it, we'll take it away. What do you think, Hunter?
I'm sorry, they're gonna keep what away?
The picture. So they can see
Right.
the picture of Emerald,
Yes.
our beautiful baby that's on screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
I
using
thought you were
it
talking
so...
about the office for half a second. And
No, and I'm like, no, we can't just leave the office.
We just got in here. I don't know. I think this is the first like reactions and videos like these we've done and we're doing in the new office.
Basically both of us in the office.
It's the end of the era.
I
You
know.
know what's great about this room?
What?
It's not currently like 80 degrees.
I know.
Which is kind of nice.
Anyway, so yeah, I decided like, oh, because the characters do interesting like facial expressions and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, we can put in some screenshots. We can do that. You know what I'm saying?
This was a weird episode.
Yeah, somebody actually somebody actually tweeted at us and they're like, can you guys talk about how weird this episode was? And I'm like, you literally read Hunter's mind because that's exactly what he said. But I guess
it seemed less structured, you know? And it had like things that were hyped up and you thought we're gonna have bigger payoff, didn't have bigger payoff.
I feel like it's one of those things where originally there was supposed to be 14 episodes, right? Yeah. And I don't know what happened to the 14th, but I feel like that the way things are cut now may have not been originally intended to be this way, so to speak. So, like, for example, maybe this Emerald scene with Mercury would have been placed in the episode where we saw Cinder and Neo talking to each other, but for whatever reason, things were reshuffled. Does that make sense? Because it would make a lot more sense to see Cinder and Neo, and then see Emerald and Mercury maybe at the end of the episode to sort of bookend the villains, if you want to call it that, right? But that didn't happen. So I'm not entirely sure what happened, but I think it's just cutting. Like, because I don't know how to explain this, but they can just sort of make all the clips and decide what order they go in later, because this isn't necessarily chronological or anything like that, right? And so if they have like a villain storyline outlined and then the hero storyline, they can just put the villains wherever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that the reason why we lost the 14th episode was because of how they decided to cut things in the end of the day. Or if you want to call it like that. I also think that the Ozpin bit with Salem was supposed to be 2 halves, but then they decided against it and just made it 20 minutes.
I could also see that as being...
I think that that's also part of the reason, but that would have changed everything, like how everything else was cut.
But I also feel like because there's kind of a middle part in that story, like after the world ends and they meet up again.
I mean, imagine seeing the world ending, right, and then that's the end of the episode, and then we would have all went crazy, like, oh, what's gonna happen next, right? Like,
it almost would have been worth it for the hype, but I do think it's...
I think it was a good choice.
Better as one episode.
But yeah. So yeah, this episode was weird. It wasn't not enjoyable, but it was definitely strange. But I feel like that a weird good episode is better than a structured bad episode. Does that make sense? Because I actually like this episode. I'm not saying that it was good in terms of... I mean, there are some things wrong with it, but I had fun. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's the sum of its parts are very good.
Yeah, exactly. It's just jointed together.
It's just that joined together, it seems a little odd.
Yeah.
But the sum of its parts is
still good. So let's start, I guess. So Emerald's like, I hate being left in the dark, and then you just see Mercury, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
He's
like,
just kind of shadow boxing in the background.
Like Salem couldn't invest in what? What are those things that hang on the wall?
Bag?
Exactly, like some sort of...
You didn't know what a punching bag
was
called?
No, I thought it just had a
special
name.
What are those things,
you know
like those
saying?
bags that people punch?
Like not a sandbag. I thought it just had a special...
Yeah,
I thought it just had a special name.
Bag.
Okay, well leave me alone, alright, Hunter? I don't know. But yeah, I'm just like, what is he doing?
He's a fucking...
You know, he's like, Cinder was a pain in the ass, but at least she kept us informed. And I don't know why Mercury is having such a go at Cinder when he knows that Emerald is, like, in love with her. Like, he knows, right?
Although, I feel like this was meant to, like, put a bit of a screw in the whole...
In the shipping?
In the shipping with Emerald. Because Emerald, like, she was, like, family to me. And so you tend not to want to fuck family
Nora and Ren
members.
are family to each other, right? I mean, Nora said that in this episode. Like, we're family, and she kind of looked at Ren, and you're family too, Jean, right? So it's like...
We're family. It's like, but you wanted to have sex with her. Well, you know, your wife is still your family, and goddamn,
I think
I
it's
want
sort of
that
like,
to
I
happen.
don't know, some sort of mommy... Anyway.
Don't even.
So,
I'm upset that you brought that up. I'm glad that you did not finish that train of thought.
Emerald is like, so why did you join us? And I'm like, you really haven't asked him, like, since y'all, like, talked to each other and since y'all got here. Also, this is my Emerald wig, by the way. Like, it looks nothing like her hair, but I'm just saying. And so... I took some other pictures, but it doesn't really matter. But I like this one because I'm like, what does he do? Just what is he like? Emerald, look at these pecs, all right? Forget about Cinder. I'm right here. Like no, that's not what he was trying to do. I'm just exaggerating.
So scatterbrained.
Anyway, so he basically says that his dad trained him to be a killer, and so when they knocked on the door, like it was just meant to be. Like look at that, it was just meant to be. right? Or whatever he said. And then his whole demeanor just sort of drops, you know? And meant to be sort of like reminded me of, oh, this is fate. Like, oh, do you believe in destiny? Like, it sort of ties back to the Pyrrha stuff, even though it doesn't, but it kind of does, you know what I mean? I just picked that up. I thought that was interesting. And then he's like, why the fuck do you want to know, right?
They have a kind of conversation.
And Emerald's like, that's it? Well, what do you want? And Mercury's like, well, Salem's gonna make us her top dogs in the new world. So basically, he wants to be king.
Yeah.
That's basically it. He wants to be King Mercury with, like, 10 fucking consorts and, like, a harem or concubines or whatever you call them, right? And he just wants to live his best life in the new world, right? And she's just like, Cinder cared about me. Cinder taught me things. And then this happens, right? Because he goes back. Can I go back to the other one? Yeah, he's just like, Cinder doesn't care about you. Cinder doesn't care about us. Like, he's just sort of like that, right? And I think that's kind of interesting that Mercury's, like, willingly telling her that. Yeah, and different views for sure. Because I feel like the reason why they did this is because everybody's been asking, like, okay, well, why the fuck does Mercury give a shit? But I feel like Mercury gives more of a shit than Cinder, because everybody's argument is like, well, Emerald is there for Cinder, so what's Mercury there for? But Mercury has a more logical sort of reason to be here. He wants to be king, you know what I mean? Whereas Emerald is sort of lost now and doesn't understand who she is. And he's just like, are you gonna have some identity crisis? Like, I'm sorry, mommy didn't love you, but my dad hated me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. I don't know whether he means mommy as in her actual mom, and so she's using Cinder as a replacement, or if he's actually calling Cinder mommy. Does that make sense? Like, sorry, Cinder didn't love you, but my real dad doesn't love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like because she said family.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, and so is he calling Cinder mommy right now?
Please stop.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Some questions should not be asked.
I'm just
and
asking.
That is one of those questions that should not be asked.
And so basically, he explains in this weird thing that's happening. I mean,
it was a weird bit of exposition.
It's fine for siblings to fight, right? This sort of makes sense, right? Let's just say they're basically brother and sister at this point.
They were fucking swinging at each other.
You know what I mean? And Emerald seems to have some emotional problems, and so this shouldn't surprise anyone. And basically, he says that his father stole Mercury's semblance with his semblance. So Mercury's father was such a good assassin, we can assume, because his semblance was stealing away other people's semblance, which reminds me of Iowa, sort of, from...
Who?
Not Iowa. Sorry, the guy from My Hero Academia, the teacher. Aizawa. Sorry.
Iowa. Wow, Iowa.
Sorry. Aizawa can blink at people and they lose their cork for a minute. But it only happens until he blinks back. But it reminds me of the villain, too, and the villain is... able... How am I supposed to explain this? The villain is able to, like, suck in other corks, right? That's what he's able to do,
yeah,
right?
all for one.
Yeah, and so I feel like that's sort of probably what Mercury's father had, like, the ability to steal semblances. And maybe he had a limit on how many he could at a time. But imagine RWBY is in the air doing her speed thing, flying around and trying to kick Mercury's father's ass in, like, a theoretical, right? And then he steals her semblance and she just fucking falls, right? Like, that's probably why his dad was such a good assassin. And apparently he can give them back, so that seemed helpful, right? But he never got it back, Mercury says, even though he killed him. And Mercury thinks he's right where he's supposed to be, I guess. I really like Emerald's facial expression right here, because I don't know what the girl's thinking, I'm just saying. I think she does care about Mercury, though, because then in this scene with Tyrion, she's like, hey, stop it, when Tyrion...
Can I just say that I'm, like, annoyed by Tyrion, kind of?
Oh, gosh. Hold on. We'll get to that. I want to get to...
We were showing off his robot.
Yeah.
Stinger, which we all kind of guessed
when he did this, Emerald was like, hey, like, don't do that. Hey, stop. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Hey, so I think she does care about Mercury, right? So yeah, he does get his tail shown off, right? So that's good. I'm kind of sad it's not Grim, but... what can you do? Mechanical made sense given that Watts was in charge.
Yeah.
But,
can I just say that I'm sort of annoyed by Tyrion? That he's just kind of like, he just kind of runs around and I think they wrote him so he needed to be like too creepy and it just comes off as trying too hard.
Yeah.
They tried to make him like the Joker from The Dark Knight, and like how he just constantly pontificating.
I think they're finding their balance with it. Like, I think it was really good in Volume 4.
Yeah, because here's the thing, because before
and now
I felt like it was
he seems to be
better.
getting a little weird.
And now it seems like
could
it's
that
a
be
little much.
intentional?
It could be.
After Tyrion failed the mission, he's just he's gone a bit more bonkers than is acceptable to an audience. Does that make sense? Like, you know what I mean? Because we were like, man, Tyrion's so cool, and like he's kind of creepy, but he's cool, right, in Volume 4. And I wonder if maybe getting beat up by Salem just changed his psyche
Because didn't
a
he
little
get a
bit.
table thrown on him earlier when she flipped out?
Yeah, not that. I mean, when he failed and he was on his knees and Salem kind of reprimanded him and all that stuff, right? Like, maybe that's why he's acting so weird. So maybe it's an intentional choice for us as the audience to go like, hey, Tyrion's getting a little much right here. But maybe that's the intention. Or maybe I'm giving Miles and Carrie too much credit and I should stop. But yeah. So Tyrion and Watts are going to Atlas.
That was an odd.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Because because Ironwood wants to like.
If Ironwood calls upon Vacuo, everybody's fucked. I don't know why.
Fucked. I mean, maybe because they need them separated.
I guess.
Because like really, the only thing one of the things that helped in the fall of Beacon, or hindered maybe the fall of Beacon was outside assistance, I suppose. But honestly, that kind of helped with the hacking Atlas.
Maybe the idea is more like Atlas staying closed
Divide
off
and
to
conquer.
the outside world is like the best thing to win. Because Atlas is so susceptible right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because if none of the kingdoms are their friends and nobody's helping, right? And so if they call Vacuo, it's sort of like, well, now they have more help. I think that's sort of the idea, maybe. So they're like, so we can prepare, and then Emerald's like, prepare for what? And then that's it. Basically. But Tyrion's like, children, do what makes you happy. Do what you love. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I guess Tyrion loves to do this, but then the question is still why? Like, I mean, we don't need a why from him. He's just kind of crazy.
A little bit. I don't know. I feel like before it was like better, but now they seem maybe it just sort of feels to me that they're trying too hard.
It may be intentional.
But it could be intentional. But then again, if you're not enjoying it, then really, what's the point?
I guess, but maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe you're supposed to be like, wow, Tyrion's
this is just
he's
it kind of drains
piece of work right now.
From
And so they're looking for Oscar, which I don't really care about, because he's fine. He did not try to kill himself. He did not get kidnapped. He did not go to the bar to try and find Crow. He did none of those things. He went out shopping, came back, and made a fucking casserole. Anyway.
Did he just go grocery shopping?
I don't know. So Saffron is like, hey, you guys should go to Haven. You guys can get your licenses, and then you can come back here. Like, she's basically trying to convince them to stay. And it does not work. And John's just all mopey and sad, and then he sees a leaf, which is Pyrrha related, I guess.
Which is fall.
Like the fall made it.
However, it already seems like it's winter, so it may be a little too late, but...
Well, maybe that's why it's so unique. So when I saw the statue, I was like, well, that's Pyrrha, right?
Yeah, that has to be Pyrrha.
I mean, you didn't think so. In the reaction, Hunter was like, it looks like Pyrrha. And I'm like, that's because it is Pyrrha, Hunter.
Well, the second I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's Pyrrha.
I can't wait for you guys to watch that. But yeah, I feel like that John being mopey kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. He has a lot of issues that he just hasn't resolved.
I feel like
and the reason why he's mad at Oscar really is because Pyrrha died for nothing. He just didn't say it, but that's why he's mad. So to have this sort of resolution with Pyrrha, and it does make sense to have a statue of her in town if she trained here and all the people loved her and then she just fucking died. How did they know that she died, though?
I guess because they took tally of everyone who made it out afterwards.
And everybody who didn't, like...
Everyone who didn't were...
But they don't know how she died, though.
No, they don't know how she died.
I mean, they don't know that Cinder just... nuked her.
Yeah, well, didn't nuke her through the heart with an arrow.
No, but like after she did the
shot through the heart.
Yeah,
no, the dust hit her.
So they don't know that. They just think that she was a casualty, but she was so much more. She was Cinder's like plaything for like a couple minutes.
What's with you and Cinder and Mommy and plaything? That's fucking weird.
I didn't mean it like in a sexual
Don't be
way.
horny on me.
No. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it more like, you know, there's a difference between dying by some grim and then like having like Cinder, who is sort of a sadist, just like
I don't
toy
know.
with you and all that
It didn't
stuff.
seem like toying me. They seemed like they were genuinely going at each other.
I mean, at the end, because she just kind of let it go on for a bit. You know, like Cinder could have dusted her after the ankle, but she just shot her through the ankle, and then she just went for it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways.
So Pyrrha.
So there is a new song, and then I tried to write down the lyrics that I could decipher. So some people, fall in love for life, love's fickle, when it grows, one thing that I know...
Oh my god, is that your fucking writing?
Yes.
Jesus.
One thing that I know, longer than our lives endure, you're mine forever, and then I'm pretty sure they sing Forever Fall and not Forevermore, which is kind of interesting, I guess.
I guess because
Because
Forever
Fall
Falls,
Maiden or something and all that. It may have said Forevermore, which would have made a lot more sense. I like those lyrics, those are cute. So basically, then this random lady shows up, who is also voiced by Jen Brown.
So it's Pyrrha's mom, basically.
Basically, I mean, it could be her mom or her
older
aunt
sister,
or her sister, right?
Probably.
I feel like it's more of her mom, though. You know what I mean?
I think it's meant to just be like, oh, it's her mom, and then she comes in, she comes out. It's supposed to be a little sweet, enigmatic moment, and we're meant to know it's Pyrrha's
Well, people
mom.
on Twitter are like, is that Pyrrha? And I'm just like...
It's not Pyrrha.
I mean,
no,
it may, like, people think it's like a ghost or something and all that stuff. We'll talk about that. That's like a whole other conversation.
That would be crazy if instead of like, well, because she seems a little older, hair cut short.
What if Pyrrha cut her hair in the afterlife?
What if it would be interesting if she was like some mystery woman with like that looks more like Pyrrha but with her hair down? And so like, is that Pyrrha's sister? Is that Pyrrha's ghost?
Anyway.
I feel like that would be a little more interesting, but this was certainly
It's
weird.
definitely probably just her mom or something.
I don't know, she holds herself differently than I just get the idea.
Differently than what, a mom?
Or no, than Pyrrha.
Oh, okay.
Pyrrha was more like strong, waha, I'm fierce, and she's just kind of like, I'm a mother.
I guess, alright.
She's also wearing
A Huntress understood there was no choice to make, which I thought that was sort of interesting because Ozpin, like everybody talks about how Ozpin doesn't give people choices and about how Ozpin gave Pyrrha no choice, but then they're saying a Huntress understood there was no choice in the end. You know, she had to fight Cinder, and even John says later she knew that she was gonna lose, right? She just did it to buy time or to try and all that stuff. And so, like, Sean's like, she was a Huntress, like, and all that stuff, and then she says thank you, but look at her face right there. That's why I captured the screenshot. Like, she's hugging those flowers like they are Pyrrha. I also wonder if that's Pyrrha's, like, symbolic flower, because all the girls have a different flower. She definitely knows this random guy's John, right?
She absolutely
Because
does.
her parents would have watched her in the tournament.
Yeah,
her parents probably would have seen her tear Penny apart. That's a little awkward. But they would have seen John and Nora and Ren. Like, I'm pretty sure that they would remember. They probably play the tournaments back on
That's
tape
a little
because
weird
miss
that
her so
they,
much.
I mean, I understand that she died and it was tragic or everything, but she did, well, I mean, I guess they knew Penny was a robot, so maybe they didn't consider it as much of a murder as the rest of us did.
Well, I guess. And then John's just crying, and I'm like, John, don't cry.
They're
Like,
both crying.
you guys know, like, I, like, hated John, like, when we started making videos, so the fact that I'm like, John, come here, honey, like, it's okay, like, character development.
It's a growth on your behalf.
Yeah, and I like all of the sort of shots of them together, that's kind of it. So,
She fucking Batman!
Yeah, she just disappears.
Like, in the Christopher Nolan movie, when people are talking, then they look away, then they look back and Batman's gone, fucking Pyrrha's mom did that. And I'm like, that's, I don't know. I'll keep on, like, well, at the end of the episode, I'll let my, like, because I really liked that scene. It was the thing that, you know, Jean needed.
Mhm.
It was a very kind of concise,
And
poignant
I feel
moment.
like Ren and Nora sort of needed it too, because they needed John to kind of get
And
it.
that was my favorite scene of the episode, when they all, when Pyrrha and Nora and Ren look up at Pyrrha and they're just like, oh, and they have that kind of moment together.
Yeah.
I really like
And it's
that.
also like, she's like, hey, we heard what you said to Cinder about, like, dying for everyone. We don't want that. We love you. Like, all of that.
It would also
sort
be
of stuff.
fucking hilarious if Pyrrha's mom was just like, you know, I always wanted to have something to keep of her. I couldn't find her spare armor for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know
God.
where that went, so I guess I just come here to the statue. And John's just like, yeah, fuck me, right? Spare armor.
Anyway, this was just a really nice scene. What pisses me off about this episode, though, is I also just really like this all of
scene.
these moments.
Clearly.
Oh, wait, I had something to say about this. So he sees the airship flying behind the Pyrrha statue.
Yes.
I think that's why he gets the idea to steal the airship. And so, I guess there is more to talk about. I just skipped to the fact that Oscar just went out and got clothes because I was really angry about it. See, these slides help us. If we didn't have those, I would have just moved on. But look at Ruby's face right now. She is 10 levels of disappointed. Like, look at this.
Look at how.
And look at Ye. Even
wow,
Weiss
look
is
at
just
Weiss
like,
is
fuck
upset.
you. Like, if I
They're all
Weiss
upset.
has seen a drunk before, right? Her mom is an alcoholic, so I'm sure that she...
Wow!
I'm sure that she's...
Look at how high they... I love how they're all doing the exact same pose. Like the exact same arm
Oscar's
up.
eyeball right
I'm sorry,
here.
I'm sorry. Look at that. Fucking... Look at how happy Weiss is. That's the happiest Weiss has ever been. Her... Is that Blake? Ren, John, they're all in the same pose. So is Yang. They're in that same synchronized...
God.
They probably just had the same animation and put it in all the models. And for some reason, she's flashing everyone. If you kind of look, like, Crow's eyes are kind of right there. They're like, fucking hell.
No.
They're all shooting off. He looks terrified,
I know, that's
frankly.
what I'm saying.
I don't...
But yes.
Wow, that's an interesting... That's also an interesting... How did they even move? Okay, so they're...
I missed a couple screenshots, obviously.
You can just barely see Nora's.
But,
they're in perfect... Oh, look at them! They're like whatever, like...
I wanted to take a
like
picture of
the
smear
long
frame
version of a T-pose.
Really
That's the most majestic they've ever been. They're perfectly synchronized. Look at how terrified that baby is.
Oh, so they said something too. They were like, "Oh man, I hate how this would look from the neighbors or something." And Saffron's just like, "Come on, Tara." But I mean, it does look bad.
It does look a little bad.
It
Having
does
an
look bad.
alcoholic just
So Oscar just made food, right?
He didn't leave to consider killing himself or doing anything like that.
Nothing interesting happened.
He fucking left and got groceries. And so what I thought...
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the Rose Garden shippers are fucking happy though, because there was some...
They had a
look at those... Look at that look exchange.
Ruby had a brief...
Like, you look good, Oscar.
No, she didn't. She was like, you look good, and then immediately went to Crow. So it was light.
I know that, but I'm sure they're happy. That's all I said. I said that I
think
bet
it's
that they're
heavy.
happy. Okay, leave me
But
alone.
here's the thing. I think that's Neo.
What? Really? You really think that it's Neo?
You know what? I don't think it's Neo, but I want it to be Neo because at least then there's drama because you
That's
built...
why the clothes are different?
Because you fucking built... Yeah, I mean, what did he just fucking go outside, buy some new duds, and get some groceries to make a casserole?
No, he sounds a lot more like Ozpin to me. Like, just listening to him, it's a bit like, I don't know.
Here's what I think.
It's just a little uncanny.
I think that the next episode, they're going to show, like, Neo kidnapping her. I don't know.
Kidnapped Oscar?
Because then it's like, what is the point if there was never any conflict? Why build up the conflict so much if it just pays off like that? Like, I get it. There's
nothing to hint at it being near Neo, though.
Yeah, I get it.
That's the only problem, is that if we saw some sort of hint in his eyes or something,
there was
I
no
would
hint,
like
so
that.
it's probably not the case, but still, I think... Also, like, I get it, they saw Pyrrha, they're just like, okay, that's what we're fighting for, and they don't feel bad for Oscar. But then again, why the fuck would you not have Oscar be part of the solution to the Oscar drama? It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm not upset.
Anyway.
It just doesn't sit right with me.
Crow is just fucking terrible. He's just an
a
asshole.
surly. Listen, I understand. Like, would you...
Here's the thing, though. I would argue, I told this to someone else, they're ruining Crow, he was my favorite character, and now he's terrible, and I'm like, guys, the whole point is they're making him bad for a or I don't want to say bad in terms of writing. They're making him a bad person for a purpose. Like, this
He's
is
not
leading...
a bad person. That's a perfectly reasonable reaction to learning that the
they're
thing
making
that you
him
fought and
dislikable
killed
for a reason, right? Like, even Miles said that he thinks Crow's being an ass and that he sort of hates writing for Crow because Crow is all sort of moody and edgy right now.
I understand Crows. You
Hold
have
on,
no
I'm
sympathy.
not done yet. I have sympathy, but what I'm saying is
you also have 17 water bottles. I just want to point that out.
From a writer's perspective.
Oh my god.
What I'm trying to say is, what they're trying to do is give him character development, and this is the lead up to it. Like, they're not like, oh, they ruined his character, he's totally different. Like, it's not without reason. Do you know what I mean? And so when people say that, I question what they're seeing, I guess, because here's how I see it. I see it as Crow is kind of traumatized from this information, and he's definitely not dealing with it as well as the kids, because he's seen more than the kids, he's older than the kids, and have spent more of his life in this sort of, yes, we're gonna fight and save the world, whereas the kids have just been involved for like 2 years or whatever. Like, that's not a long time of your life. He's been for like 30 or however long. So, yeah, he's upset, you know what I mean? And he is being sort of an asshole, but it's for a reason. It's not just, oh, they're ruining Crow, he's being an like, no, it's not for that. It's supposed to lead him to some sort of character development and some sort of change that he'll experience by the end of the volume.
And even by the end of this episode, he's really challenged by the hopefulness.
Well, he's challenged by Ruby, too.
Ruby and John and all that.
Yeah, she's just really pissed at him, and John's like, so, I have an idea. Look at John's, like, little, like, shady eyes. He's like, so, let's steal an airship.
But also, like, I don't blame Crow, because Crow's also, like, you do realize, like, up until now, you've just been fighting bandits and terrorists and people without significant political power. Now you want to go up against the biggest military in the world.
John is smiling. Nora is smiling, like, that's my boy, because she has her hand on her hips.
Everyone else looks shocked. Maria looks horrified. Even the baby looks a little shocked.
See, this is the difference, though. So Ren and Yang have a regular shocked face, but Weiss and Blake's eyebrows are inverted. Like, it's not just shocked, it's like, what the fuck are you... What do you think this is, John?
Nora's like, I concur.
Exactly. See her little face? Anyway. And the baby sort of laughs at him too, but anyway. And Crow is really like, this is the Atlas military we're talking about, and I'm like, guys, I don't know why no one has suggested to just break into the communication tower, get Winter in touch with Weiss somehow, to call the military. Like, I know that not all the CCTs are working necessarily, like, correctly, but there must be some sort of way, even if it's just like a Morse code tappy thingy, not necessarily a video call to get a hold of Atlas and to get a hold of Winter.
They need to, like, check off guns this, because why would they bring up that stuff if not to use it? Then it would kind of be like a dangling
why? Oh, Pyrrha can get in the communication tower. Guess we're gonna steal an airplane. I mean, it's kind of connected. They could steal the plane and Pyrrha could lead them out, like airplane control. Like, that would make sense. That's fine. Right?
That would
Crow. Actually, a couple people have suggested this, like before this episode. Crow could turn into a bird and steal the plane, right? Right? It would work.
It would make sense.
But I feel like a more logical answer is, oh, Tara sneaks into the tower, she does something to the communications, and then they're able to get a hold of someone to just let them in.
Also, who can fly a plane?
Weiss.
Weiss needed the other pilot.
I don't know.
It would make sense, but what if it was Maria? Like, just like, I've been
Crow?
I can eat all the outside cashews I want in here.
Look how sad everyone feels now. Like, how dare that you have an idea? Like, maybe it wasn't the best idea, but I give you some work. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
It would be like if you were like, hey, I want to go to California. I'm like, cool, let's hijack a Boeing 747. Like, it's a fucking crazy, because I like how Crow's
the idea could have used some work.
I like how Crow's just like, I liked Crow in that scene where he's just like, are you fucking kidding me? That's like you stole an F-16 from a U.S. military base.
But Ruby does say that she wants to hear about, look at her face here. She just like, you can see her thinking, and I just love that, because she looks remorseful at first.
Sad? And then
I'm sorry, Crow's an asshole. And then she's thinking, and then she's like,
actually, fuck you. Yeah. I love that.
And she's like, I don't care what you think. And look at Crow's face when she says that. I'm like, you kind of deserve it, Crow, because you're not being helpful. Because, okay, again, it wasn't the best idea, but you gotta throw ideas around. When I said, Hunter, we should start a YouTube channel, all right? We didn't start out the best, but we got better eventually.
I mean, not by much. And 2, you had already had one. And 3, it was my idea to do RWBY videos.
Anyway, I was just using a hypothetical example. But I love how she says that she never needed the adults to do anything, because that was such a point that people brought up in terms of criticism last volume. Like, oh, well, the adults are here, so it feels like the kids have no agency, but by removing Ozpin and by sort of taking out Crow, the kids have agency and are reclaiming their sort of agency again. And she's like, well, if you want to come, you know, there's room for you, old man, but we'll do it our way. And Rising Like the Moon is playing, which I think is nice. And then Maria says, it seems like you underestimated her. And then it just cuts away.
You get the impression that Crow's almost like, all right, let's fucking do it. I need a casserole.
I think I'm out of this notepad. Wow, guys, how many notepads have we sacrificed for the sake of, like, very quick notes?
You also have very large, barely discernible handwriting.
Yeah.
Emerald wants to know where Mir...
Why
Summers-
Mercury...
Why...
Mercury...
Merc...
Staying.
Okay.
Or something.
You tried your best.
But yeah. So, this episode was weird, but it had valuable moments in the weirdness. It's sort of like, you know when people sew those quilts and, like, sometimes the patches don't always go together, but it's still a nice warm blanket? Like, that's what I feel this episode was.
It was, yeah, it felt like there was 3 very distinctive parts that did not gel well together and totally.
And I don't think they necessarily, I mean, they should, like, ideally, but for the enjoyment, they don't necessarily need to, for the writing stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I still enjoyed it. I think that the parts that they had were good, but at the same time, I feel like maybe gelling things together was too hard because here's how I would do it. I would have had the part with Emerald and Mercury booking end an episode, the episode where Cinder and Neo were talking about their plan. I think that would have been better over there. But then what do you take from that episode to make the runtime equal, right? So restructuring, it may have been at the end just, okay, this is something that isn't going to flow well together, but it's something that all needs to be in one episode anyway. And, like, all the episodes have been really good, so I'm not so bothered, I guess. Like, I still think that the episode was good.
It's one of the weaker in the season so far, but then again,
but the season has been great. That's basically what I'm saying.
And also,
right?
the sum of its parts are very good. The whole is not as good as the sum of its parts, because I feel like when you tie them together, like, oh, it seems awkward. But when you think about
how
like,
they would make it easier.
Like the scene with Pyrrha was really good, and even if the casserole bit was kind of odd, the scene between RWBY and Crow and their interactions was very good.
Yeah.
And so individually, it's
like,
very good.
We're at episode 9.
They had
to not have a weird episode for 9 episodes, that's pretty good considering how much people complained about last season as a whole. You know what I mean? Because we're on episode 9. We only have 10, 11, 12, 13. We only have 4 more left.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? And then we have Gemlock.
Oh.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Which is
Gemlock.
Gemlock's first episode was apparently very good. They streamed it on the Rooster Teeth site one day. I did not watch it because I wanted to react to it with Hunter, but he just wasn't around, and there wasn't enough notice to be like, hey, let's call him and like do this.
I also wasn't aware it was a mystery or it was.
Well, I knew that it was happening because basically everybody in Rooster Teeth, like the company, jumped into this live stream, and so you kind of figured like it's Saturday morning cartoons. Something's going on, right? Because when everybody jumps in like that, like when even Bernie and Gus and whoever is in the chat, like it's sort of like, this must be a big deal. And apparently it was very good. I know Arnold recorded his reaction to it then and there. Like, good thing guys can just like wake up and record videos, but like I would have had to get ready for 30 minutes. I would have had to call Hunter. Like it would have been a whole show, but yeah. I don't mind waiting to see it, honestly. I think it's fine. But yeah. Is there anything else we want to say about this, or will we save it for other videos?
I think I gave on that fast.
Alright, cool. I think this really helped us. I think this gave us some structure. And
I think you're a little too aggressive in taking
screenshots.
There was like quite a few of Emerald Mercury's face.
Well, I wanted to show the facial expressions, right? I wanted to appreciate the animators, alright, Hunter? But anyway, I hope
so you showed screenshots, which are not animation.
Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, we will see you all later. Bye, guys! Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys want to support the channel, you guys should be patrons just like our wonderful patrons whose names will come on the screen now. $10 patrons get videos sometimes 2 weeks in advance, sometimes 3 weeks in advance, basically much, much earlier than anyone else. They can also request us to do a video for them, so this could be a reaction, a theory, a discussion, anything like that. Our $5 patrons get a week in advance early access or somewhere within that time frame, so between 2 days early and 7 days early basically, but usually it's 7 days early because I'm good with my scheduling. Anyway, our $1 patrons and all of our patrons above the $1 tier get access to our Discord server, so if you guys want to talk with us, talk with other fans of whatever you're watching right now, you guys can, and I hope that we will see you there. Bye.